Together we'll conquer, no limits apply. Eclipse rising, shining so bright. With delusion leading, we'll conquer the night. Together we stand, in battles we fight. In ENE dark Epoch, our future is right.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am Delusions, and you know it. We're back in the arena today, so let's go ahead and kick things off. So we've got some events and stuff that are going on, taking place right now. We are just going to go through and get ourselves prepped up for the arena. As you can see in the foreground there, we've got Mr. Shepard back in the action, Kratos stepping in to help, and let's make sure, yeah, gang's all here. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at how the arena standings are sitting right now. Looks like we are currently ranked 5th, and that just won't do. So we're going to go ahead and max our attempts out real quick. We're going to play things a little different this time. So, as you could see from the last arena, we failed to beat some people. So we're going to go through and we're going to try to have a little bit more redemption coming through this. As you all know, Arena is where I normally shine. In recent times, I am just not that great. So we are hoping to change my luck and try to pull through some really good wins. But with that being said, let's go ahead and kick this off. We're going to get our buffs going. Let's see here. Let's figure out where Mr. Shepard is. Okay. He's got Shepard coming in. Going to go ahead and get some buffs going. Looks like we're all set. We're going to jump in straight into a quick match going up against Voodoo. All right. Gotta love going up against some strength Dark Knights. Hopefully we can make some noise today with all the excitement and frustrations that Corpse has been causing for everybody, which if you haven't got to experience it yet, highly recommend doing it. It is what the game has really needed to give that competitive aspect a little bit push over the edge. A lot of people are experiencing some issues with their corpse, which, believe me, I for one am going through the same exact thing. Definitely not something that I'm super happy to report on. But yeah, outside of that, even the dailies are fantastic. New ring for the new season. Brief overview: inflicting crit damage has 30% chance of activating coexistence of light and darkness. Additional 10% chance of strike ignore and inflicting double damage. Now, who is going to benefit the most from this? You guessed it, my favorite class, ENE Dark Lord, which, since we have not been able to land ourselves one of those elusive class change cards, once we make it through our level 700 class change, I will, in fact, be returning to ENE Dark Lord to wreak some havoc on everybody around me. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump right back into this. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's not going to go ahead and activate that ring just yet, just because we've got a lot of other things that I want to play around with. So we're going to get these buffs flowing once more. That way we are still staying on top of everything that we need to be doing. Coming in and fighting Mr. Porter Bass. As you all know, Porter has now become one of my highly loved and respected rivals throughout all of my videos, it seems like. And man, does he have a lot going for him and his class. Really liking how he progresses on a lot of his stuff. But again, we're in arena for a reason, so we're definitely not out here to make friends, and that is certainly something that we are not going to be doing today. Right now, it's all about trying to regain that throne, and from the looks of it, we may not be able to. Well, maybe I underestimated myself a little bit. But yep, going back in, took that first round on Porter, hopefully able to pull out a second win. But the big thing, when we're going up against all of these ENE DKs, as you can see, MJH, Porter, there's more and more coming in through Corpse, and it really puts me into perspective of how powerful these classes can be. Not only just ENE but you've got all of the AGI Dark Wizards, you've got um, the elves. I mean, we got matched up in our corps with some insanely powerful elves. So I'm really, really looking forward to getting in there and throwing myself off into the ring with some of them. Um, but with that being said, kicking things off again with MJH. Now, he is one that's always been hard for me to rival, just because of how much progression he has into his account. As you can see, we weren't able to trigger that Phoenix, weren't able to get that first win, which is, understandable. And I was trying to go back through and explain some of these things and think things over, what I've done wrong, what I could be doing better, and essentially, it's so hard to really say, just because, again, everybody progresses at their own speed, everybody's got their own levels of investment. Sometimes it's just not in the cards for us to be able to step into the arena and really dish out all the damage that we need to do to secure some of these victories. Um, but in the background here, I'm just going through and rebuffing myself with everything so we can jump right back in. Coming in against Riley Loyal, um, really, really good friend in the game and has grown so much throughout our playtime together. But she is playing the ENE Dark Lord class, or not Dark Lord, but Dark Wizard. As you all know, they have that crazy, crazy ability to be able to sit there and regenerate, a mass amount of HP once you trigger, what would be their death. But with that being said, uh, still holding out that one day these guys can step up and take my spot as ruler of this server, because my days are numbered, with everybody growing at the speeds that they are. But I anticipate it, I look forward to it, and I commend these guys every single day on being able to take me out in the arena, to be able to gain all of this progression that they've been able to pick up through their entire progression rates. Knight is another one. Huge ENE Dark Lord. Um, really, really admire this guy's work that he's put into his class, because again, if I don't play my cards right, I am just as good as gone when it comes down to some of these Dark Lords. And I met my match in Corpse going up against a guy named Kenzo, and his ENE Dark Lord and the build that he has going for it is just so unique. I really, really liked it. I really can't wait to give it a shot. Um, and I'm hopeful that I can pull off a lot of the things that he's able to do. Um, on my own Dark Lord, because again, we've got we've got so much that we're missing out on over the playtime that we've done through class changes and account switching and here and there, that getting back to Dark Lord is something that I've really, really been uh, been wanting for a long time, and then I got into Corpse, and then it finally pushed me over the edge. I said, you know what, I've gotta do it. So yeah, going back to ENE Dark Lord. So stay tuned for all the updated information and guides along the way for that. But still haven't given up hope on collecting a class change card to step off into the arena with a ENE Elf. Um, Again, we've got the compendium that we're working on right now, which, for those of you that don't know, is this massive full game guide that I'm putting together along with a handful of other players that have been willing and able to put forth a little bit of their time to help out. And I think it's coming together with Corpse being introduced. We definitely have some sections that we have to work on to be able to bring us back up to where we really need to be, before we release it, so it's extending that deadline out a little bit further. And I apologize for the wait, but rest assured, we haven't given up. Um, we've got guides for just about every class in there, including my own. We'll have Porter's Guide in there. We'll have some guides for ENE Elf and AGI Elf, uh, all the wizards, and everything else in between. So I really think that you guys will find a lot of value out of it. And it's not something that's always going to be set in stone. So if you happen to notice something that, we could improve on, if you've got tips and tricks of your own, send them to me in Discord. Send them in an email. Reach out to me. Send me a carrier pigeon for all I care. I'm here to help you guys, and I want to make sure that everybody has that information readily available to them so that we're all progressing together versus being left in the dark and struggling to be able to hit some of these milestones that I know that you guys are pushing for. Looks like somebody has lost to us. We'll go ahead and we'll take a look at that towards the end. But coming into the next fight here with Fleming Edma, who is also an ENE Dark Lord or Dark Wizard. Man, as you guys can tell, I am just super set on getting to this class change. Um, but yeah, we've got a lot of ENE Dark Wizards in our server as well as in Corps. There are some big names out there. A lot of other content creators are participating in my corpse. I guess you would call it a congression. Of course, they're not with me because then that would just make everything just too easy. So we've got everybody split up a little bit. We're still trying to figure out how corpse is all going to function in the end. Once I have more feedback from the devs and a little bit more play testing on my own, then I'll be able to release a more solid, updated, well-rounded video, kind of giving you your first steps into diving into corpse and what to expect and how you should proceed to be able to maximize your gains within this gameplay, um, because I really do love it. From the time that I get up to the time that I go to bed, I know that I can always step off in there and have the biggest fights with people that are, 50, 60 levels ahead of me, um, and still know that I can contend with some of these classes. Now, do I lose? Oh, you bet. I lose more times than I win, surprising enough. But then again, it's given me, a different outlook on how I need to play my class as well as how I can help others to play their classes. Because again, it's all live gameplay, so everybody is fighting all at once. So there's no, hey, you got lucky on this round, like we're going through an arena. It's hey man, let's come back. Let's do this over and over and over again. Let's learn from each other. And, hopefully we can step into arena like we're doing today and try to pull off some of these wins. Because again, it's all about, helping the community. And at the end of the day, if all of us are not growing, then something's wrong. So that's what these guides and videos and stuff that I put out are designed to do. As you can see, Porter has not been able to get his attempts in for the day. So, we're going to pride ourselves in being able to hold on to that number 2 spot for right now. Of course, I'm still just a little bit behind on being able to contend with MJH and his Phoenix, and all the massive upgrades that he's been doing to his account. But with that being said, again, guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in to every single one of my videos, offering your support, asking your question, reaching out to me and letting me know that I am making a difference in your gameplay. Because, man, I gotta tell you, that means the world to me. But with that being said, I am Delusions, and I am out. Have a great day, guys.
raise your sword high. Let's claim our fame. With every boss fallen,